answers. So convert 8 meters to centimeters. Okay, so 8 meters has how many centimeters? Well, we know it's 800, but let's just say you put in 80, okay, and you get that incorrect. Because how you've got to look at it is you're awarded 1 mark for each question or each part of question. So you're given 1 mark for this. Okay, now if I get that wrong, in this case, it comes up with a cross, incorrect step. You've just lost 25% of that 1 mark. So now I'm basically sitting at like 0.75 of a mark. Oh, that's silly. I didn't convert it right. If I do 800, then I'm actually going to get it right. And you'll see, once I hit enter, it gives me a correct one here. And now I've got that right. Now you can skip between any of your questions up here, but once you do put an answer in, it is recorded. So make sure you check you put it in correctly before you do. So I've only got like 0.75 for that. If you can't see these numbers here, you'll need to click this button. This button on the top right lets you change between your questions. Now, you'll find when you're actually doing your SAC, it will open up. It will close automatically on an hour. So we're going to do it after school. I think we're going to give you guys an hour on it, but still to be confirmed on that one. And really, you'll find once the timer stops, like it will just, that's it. So keep an eye on your time. If you're getting close to time, try and, get through it as fast as you can. But you should have enough time to get through it. So you can work through your questions if you like, as you want to. So plant 1 grows at 5.1 centimeters a week. Plant grows at 37 millimeters in the same week. Which plant grows more in the week? 37, right? Okay, now this is a multiple choice. You only get 1 chance on these questions. If you get it wrong, that's it. You don't get another chance. So it's not like you lose marks like the other one. So I'm going to go with B because, oh, and make sure you read it. Plant 2, plant 1, okay? So if you see plant 1 grows more, which one grows more? So make sure you don't assume which one's the right way. Read the answers because they're not always put in the correct order. So I'm going to get this one wrong. Plant grows less. So I'm going to go plant 2, which is A, which should be wrong. Okay, so, and if you hit submit to that, it's like, oh no, let's try that again. So I've actually made a mistake. It will say, let's try that again. You've lost all your marks, so whatever. I mean, I get it right, yay. I don't actually get anything for that anyway. It will say right once it's going. Okay, and that will basically do that. All right, so that's how you will get to those ones there. So I'm trying it out, so it's not quite the same platform as you guys. So it was correct option, plant B, part B. Let's go to question 3. Find the perimeter of a rectangle. You can use the formula here to find the perimeter of a rectangle whose length L is 18 and width is 5. Now, you don't need to put your working in, but you can put your working in if you want, like 2 times 18 plus 2 times 5. You don't need to. You could just figure this out in your calculator, okay? So you could go to your CAS, you're going to have your CAS with you, and you can just literally put the answer in straight away. If you get the correct answer straight away, it will give you correct lines. Now, some people think you need to put working in there, so it gives me 46. So I know the answer. If I put 46 in here, I would get it right away. But if you don't put 46 and you put your working in, what will happen is it will come up with this thing, which says it's the correct step, right? And then if I start just doing something else that's got no relevance, I don't know why I'm adding 2 and minusing 2, but it's still technically correct, you'll see you'll get this other thing where it still gives you correct step, but you're not really getting anywhere, right? So you'll still have this. Now, you can hit skip step. If I do that, I lose about half my mark. So that will do skip step, and that will show me then, okay, that's basically, if you hit that button, then that is going to penalize you if you hit this. It gives you a bit of a hint how to answer the question. So it's kind of helpful for you guys because you do get feedback off this platform where in a SAC you wouldn't. So if you're really stuck on a question and you're at the end of the SAC, I would probably hit this because it might go, right, it works towards how to get it. Hit it again. And again, now I've lost all my marks there as soon as I hit it again. So you'll notice I can't hit skip step anymore. So that's complete. I got nothing for that. Question 3 is complete. It's fine. Now, you don't need to complete questions. If you leave them blank, you're just going to get nothing for them. I got nothing for this because I just hit skip step 3 times anyway, so it doesn't matter. Any questions so far? Please ask questions as we're going along, if you do have any, but I'm really just showing you how this platform works. Okay, so if I just literally put in 46 at the start, I would have got that right. Now notice it does that. Question 4, find the side length y indicated on the diagram. So I know the perimeter is 25, so that's going to be 20 divided by 2 is going to be 10. So here I'm going to put in 10. Now I'm not going to put in 10 centimeters because the centimeters is already on here. So I literally just type it in my keyboard. You do have other functions in here where you can find everything, brackets and so on. You can also put in fractions if you want, or if you want to put in a fraction like 10 over 2, you can just literally press like where your question mark is, the slash, and it will put a fraction in there anyway. So here I'm going to get this one right and just put in 10 straight away, and you'll see I get the tick straight away. So if I've done my working out on pen or paper and my calculator, just put in the answer and I'll get the correct answer for that one. All right, so I've just got full marks for this question. Okay, so I got it right, doesn't matter. Find the perimeter of a square whose area is that. So, I mean, you could do working out. I don't know why you would. If you do working out, yay, you get a bit of a tick. You'll see, but I actually need to put that in. So the square root of 144 is actually 12. So notice it says, let's try that again. Find the perimeter of a square. So what you've actually done wrong here is that's just going to give me the length. So I've actually been penalized there because that's just going to get me the length. Whereas if I said the square root of 144 times by 4, that would give me a tick, okay? But this isn't correct because it needs to be solid. So once it's solid is right. So if you're thinking, oh, let me find out the length first and then times it by 4, and if you just did the square root of 144, and then you notice I got it wrong because the perimeter isn't the square root of 144. It's the square root of 144 times 4. So just be careful. I would personally, if I'm doing this stack, just put in my final answer into it. I'll do all my working out on the calculator because a lot of you guys to answer this probably would have gone, oh, well, let's find out the length first. The length is 144. And now I need to times it by 4, right? Mathspace doesn't quite work like that. It just goes, well, the perimeter isn't the square root of 144. That's the length. So you actually got to do like all your calculations in once. That's what it's perfectly looking for with that. So it's saying, hey, you do 144, square root of 144, then times by, whoops, on the outside, then times all that by 4. So if you just did that on your calculator, you'd still come to 48. So personally, I would just come to 48 and do that. And then once you've got that green solid filled tick, you can then move on with it, okay? Which would be fine there. Okay, going to look at the next one. So question 6, find the value of B if the area of the largest triangle is 22 millimeters. So the larger triangle is 22 millimeters. That would be this, the largest triangle. I'm going with this would be 22 millimeters I'm going with, which is half base times height is how you get it. So what I would do on pen and paper is just basically, go with area equals half base times height. So I can think of the question is 22, so I know the area is 22 equals half times 2 times base or whatever. So half times 2 is 1, so my base equals 22, right? So I want to find the value of B, so I'm just going to put in 22. Now, it might come up with units. I haven't put in units there. Okay, so this says an input error. Okay, now there's a few things that you want to watch for an input error. Notice here, it doesn't actually say B equals. So the first thing I actually need to do is you need an equal sign. Now, if I just hit equals 22, it will still give me input error. An input error doesn't actually mark you incorrectly. It just means that you actually need to write it in the correct terms. So I need to say that B equals 22. Find the value of B. Okay, so I need to write B equals there. So just take note of that. If it doesn't say like all the other ones that we looked at before, when we're over here, notice how it said like Y equals was on the outside. You probably couldn't see it. This one says P equals, like P equals was on the outside already. So it's really important that if you come up with this input error, that you're actually putting in B equals 22. Now, I probably should put in millimeters as well, but it may accept 22. Let's see if it goes. Oh, it did accept it. I would have to say mm. So B equals 22. So sometimes just look at the left of it, and if it doesn't say that, and because I'm trying to solve for B, if it gives you an input error, you just need to actually put in, what are you trying to find? Okay, so we're trying to find the value of B. So B equals 22. Like, that's what we should be writing. So we're looking for 100% mathematical literacy with that. Is there any questions so far? Please ask. Let's have a look. Okay, so you don't have to use, you don't have to do your steps, but you do, if there's, so some questions you'll have multi-stage questions where it's like A, B, C, D, and you'll need to answer A, you'll need to answer B, you'll need to answer C, but you can just put in your final answer. So don't worry about what you did last year. And you guys will have a couple of practice sacks to do anyway. So you can hit continue, or you can hit the question up there. So we want to find the height of this. So this is probably one of the ones where this is a multi-step question. Okay, so this is probably what you're talking about here, Kirsty. So you don't have to show working unless it says you have to. So find the height of the area of trapezium. Sorry, find the height if the area of the trapezium is 30 centimeters. So we want to find that height if the area of it's 30. Here it says start by substituting the given values into the formula for the area of the trapezium. So here I can't just say, so let's just figure out what H is. If I figured out what H is here, so this is, if you guys remember the formula of the trapezium, what is it? We've got 6 and 4. It is a half. So we're going to say, what's the area? So 30 equals a half. Whoops, I'm not even writing anything. 30 equals, it's a half of A plus B, isn't it? Times by H. A half times, I don't know if that half is doing it on a denominator or not, so let's just do a half. 1 on 2 times by 4 plus 6 times by x, right? And we can just solve for x. So we know it's 6. So if I just said in here, H equals 6, right? I don't think it would be right. It may be. We'll see. Oh, look, it did give it to me right. There you go. So you can start by substituting it in. But if it did say, you know, not quite right, you need to start with that, you can. Find the area of the shaded region. Area, this is already in there. I can't be bothered finding this out. So I'm just going to hit step. I've lost half my marks. Oh, look, now I could just put that in my calculator and get probably at least half a mark for it. But I'm just going to be lazy and hit skip step. So that one there, if you hit skip step, you're losing a point. So anything that's marked red, you always lose a point. Okay. Question 9. The top of a cone was, I don't have a multi-step question in here, but I do have a video that you guys can watch that will also help with this. The top of a solid cone was sawn off to form the solid attachment. Find the surface area of the solid formed to correct 2 decimal places. So I've got to find the base of that and then find the surface area of that one minus the other one. That just sounds like way too much work. Skip step, there you go. Okay, that's what your answer is. Let's submit that. Gives me a tick. And we get there. All right, so that's pretty much how the Mathspace program will work. I will show you a multi-stage, and then you'll get your grade at the end as well, okay? So why I got 50%, I made some errors. I used skip step a few times, and so on. So if you want to see our scorecard, we got, where am I? We'll go back to show me where I got. So because I got that wrong, I got 0 for that. I made a mistake in here, so I got like 0.75 for that. Here, I just skipped steps, so I got that wrong. So far I'm sitting on 0.75. Here, I got that right straight away, so I'm on 1.75. Here, I got that wrong, so I've got another 0.75 for that, so I'm 2.5 at the moment. So I got that right and that finally right. Here, I got this one right, so I think I was on 2.75, 3.75. 4.75, about 4.5, sorry, because I guess that's one I skipped and this one I skipped. Sorry, I must have stuffed up my input error. Where did I go wrong? There was one I think I should have taken an extra 0.25 off. So as you can see, 50% because it's out of 9 marks. So that's how I got my 50%. I'm just trying to find which one. I added a 0.75 there. That one got nothing. Should got full marks for that one. 0.75 for that one. Yeah, so that's how basically your marking works with that. If there's any questions, oh, here, input error. No, that should be all right. Got that one right. Yep. So that's how we'll go through it. All right. I'll stop it there. Actually, I will show you. Yeah, we'll stop the recording there.